Okay, Vaishal madam, you can start.
A very good afternoon to all. On behalf of Konkan Gyanpit Rahul Tharkar College of Pharmacy, myself, Dr. Vaishali Zadav, extend a warm welcome to all for the valedictory function of this online AICT sponsored faculty development program entitled Innovation, Startup and Entrepreneurship Development in Pharmaceutical Sciences. Dear all, we are fortunate to have with us Mr. Deepan Sahu, who is our guest of honor for today's valedictory function. My heartiest welcome to you, sir, for this function. Before
Thank
starting
you.
with the valedictory function, I would like to introduce Sir to all the participants. Currently, Sir is serving at the capacity of Assistant Innovation Director at the Ministry of Education Innovation Cell housed at AICT New Delhi. Sir holds an undergraduate degree in fishery science from Sri Venkateshwara Veterinary University and first master's degree in MBA in rural management from KIIT University. Earned a second master degree in development policy from Korea Development Institute, a South Korean government policy. Sir is also associated with AICT since 2017. He is one of the core members of the implementation team for National Innovation and Startup Policy, that is NISP, for higher educational institutions, and he plays a very lead role in designing and implementation of numbers of other major national policy initiatives such as Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievement, also in IIC, that is Institution Innovation Council, and various programs related to innovation, pre-incubation, incubation, and entrepreneurship related policy programs. Sir has experience of working in various areas and has knowledge and mastered various development policies, including the topics like sustainable and international development, focus on development policy, research methods, policy process analysis, science and technology and innovation policy, agriculture policy, impact and M&E, change management, QM, econometric, human capital development. Sir has also served at various positions like Senior Program Coordinator at Livelihood at Access Development Services, as an Executive in Entrepreneurship and Development IIT, as a Deputy Manager in Green Technology Transfer and Management, core team member and startup, which is incubated at TBI, KIIT University. Also, Sir has received various awards like Recipient of Scholarship, Global Ambassador Scholarship, then PMP Certification Preparation Program, Certificate on IPR Management and IT in Internet Age, Indian Law Institute, Certificate on Financial Agriculture Value Chains, then Certificate on Knowledge Management in Service Sector, and also Certificate in Enterprise Management. Sir has also presented various documents and various paper presentation publications in various national and international journals. With this short introduction, I would like to welcome Deepan Sahu sir once again, and we would like to start with our valedictory function. Before starting with the valedictory function, I would like to share with you all that at KGRDCP and RI, we are starting three news bulletin platforms where we are planning to educate and share knowledge on rural entrepreneurship, innovation, startup awareness, nutraceuticals, immunity boosters, and disease information. Being a pharmacist, we think it is our duty to educate the people with right information, and hence, to fulfill our dream, we are starting this news bulletin. I would like to request Deepan Sahu sir to inaugurate our news bulletin. Now, I would first of all like to request Ajay Kharche sir to play our first video clipping of global pharma and rural entrepreneurship development innovation.
It's inaugurated.
After this, I would like to request Ajay sir to play our second bulletin that is based on the topics of nutraceutical and immunity boosters. And lastly, I would request Ajay sir to play the third video clipping, which is based on the Global Pharma News Bulletin, which will be covering all the different information about the diseases and their remedies. Thank you, Deepan sir, for inaugurating all our news bulletin. With this, I would like to request Deepan sir to please share his views with all the participants on innovation and entrepreneurship. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Vaisali ji, for inviting me uh, for the valedictory session for this FDP Faculty Development Program organized by Kankan Vidyapit uh, Institute of Pharmacy. And as I see that timeline, the faculty development program started on 20th of May, and it went 9 days. So I think generally FD programs end in 5 to 7 days, but still I think you have added 2 more days to the FDP. Generally, it is very rarely seen, but it's good that there are good number of faculties are joining. Also, they are taking interest in this kind of programs nowadays because of this pandemic, because of the lockdown. And I think getting the training and the knowledge through these online programs, now it is more generally is a kind of trend nowadays, right? We have accepted it as a general practice, but before the lockdown, actually we always have a kind of hesitation to get trained over through these online programs, and always we are keen to get into the physical mode of trainings rather than the online trainings. But now I think it is not like that before, and this pandemic also have a lot uh, uh, kind of, it has given so many of learnings that how to see the things in a very different perspective. So my sincere thanks to Professor Mohan Kaleji, the principal of the institute, and also the whole IIC team, the IIC president and IIC convener and the IIC coordinators, includes both faculty and the student coordinators. Those are involving and also driving this campus ecosystems, innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem in a very systematic way. And also I was told that IIC at your institute is also one of the best performing institute in the Maharashtra region, and last year it is secured the total star of 4 and above, I think 4.5. So it's a good indicator that your institute has that kind of competency and facilities, and also streamline the mechanisms to have this kind of a dynamic ecosystem in the campus, also engaging the students with and faculties in various activities of innovation and entrepreneurship, so that they will learn all these kind of techniques, and also they will acquire the knowledge, and also they will able to understand that what are the risks associated with line of innovation and entrepreneurship if they want to pursue it as an alternative career option. And this is the what actually we are expecting our institutions to play the role as an enabler, to provide and to bring all these kind of avenues and the support mechanisms, also ease the process, and develop a conducive environment for the faculties and the students, also for the staffs, to understand, to get awareness, and to engage, also to flourish or perform as a startup or innovator. So coming to the today's session, that actually as I was told that my role is to motivate the audience, and here the audience is the faculties, and faculties are actually the key stakeholder in any educational institutions, because they are the one, those are not only acting as a teacher, also they are playing the role of mentor, they are playing the role of guide, they are playing the role of supervisor, also they are the administrator, they are the key decision makers in various positions in an academic institutions. So you cannot expect a better environment and also a conducive climate to support innovation and entrepreneurship without taking faculties into confidence. So this is the what actually we have included. Also we have we are emphasizing in our each and every policy or the interventions we are making at the ground at present. I will explain all these things, but before that, let me talk about let's understand the bigger landscape actually, where we are now and how we are progressing, and what should be our future strategy to make the objective to achieve. So let's first understand actually this innovation and entrepreneurship in the global context. India is in India stands at the third position in the vibrancy and the largest innovation and startup ecosystem in the world, immediate after the US and the Israel. So we have secured third position, and it says that because it may be because of the number of the population is too high. Also we have a large number of educational institutions, we have a various corporates and the ministry and medium and small and medium and micro enterprises, and also nowadays the startups are growing because of this kind of so many stakeholders, so many actors are actually interacting. That's why we are one of the top 3 largest innovation and startup ecosystem in the world. This is a very good news. And also the good news is that in the last 5 years, 5 years back in 2015, India stood in the position of 81 in the global innovation index. But in the last four and a half years, or the 5 years, we have moved off from 81 position to 48th position. We have entered in the top 50 slab in the global innovation index. Similarly, another index actually we are using to measure our performances and also mapping where India stands in the global landscape, that is called global entrepreneurship index. That's also there, and other measures like ease of doing business. There are so many such well accepted rankings at the international level. We are countries they use to measure actually how they are performing, and they are also using this as to compare with other economies, other countries. So if you will see these numbers like third position, or very good jump in the ease of doing business, or we are in the top 50 under the global innovation index, this number gives a kind of a feel good factor when we listen these numbers. But if you will go actually into the numbers, actually it is kind of a disappointness I'm getting, or we are getting a feeling of disappointness when we see that actually what is our potential and actually where we stand. So if you compare these two things, definitely you will get you will get disheartened. So taking the one example of global innovation index or global innovation index. So just assume that just compare the education system of our country with others. See, in terms of the number of institutions we have, in the number of students and the faculties in our system, especially in the higher education institution I'm not talking about the schooling system. We are again far bigger than the higher education system. It is just 3 to 4 times as compared to the higher education system. So at present in India, we have 51,000 higher educational institutions. Those are offering both professional, technical, non-technical, also literature related or arts and science related programs. Those are offering undergraduate programs, and above we call them higher educational institutions. Also that polytechnic institutions also called as a higher educational institutions. So we have more than 51,000 higher educational institutions, and more than 4 crores of students are studying in these 5 higher educational institutions. When we started a survey and also try to benchmark the innovation and entrepreneurship practices are happening in our country, in 2017 when I joined AICT, then I started a survey in the only technical institutions, because in 2017 only technical institutions were considered as a ground for the innovation, because it was a kind of a myth with everybody's mind that only technology only has the scope for the innovation. Other things, other institutes have no point for getting into the innovation, because they are the non-technical. They are only looking into the basic and general courses like arts and science and commerce, like that, and or management. So in 2017 the survey results gave us a kind of a feeling that actually we are into a path where actually we have distracted from the main goal. That's why we have corrected our path, that okay, let's break this myth that only innovation and entrepreneurship will for the technical students. So we had started devising a program where technical and non-technical institutions can be part of this, and we want to give a communication to the whole country and whole society, is that innovation and entrepreneurship is a multidisciplinary approach, and it is across the sector. You cannot say that only entrepreneurship innovation will only happen to the automobile sector or to the electronic sector or to the mobile phone sector. Innovation can be happen in any sector. Entrepreneurship also you can explore in any sector. It is not sector specific. It is not sector it is not limited to any specific or particular sectors. Second thing is that it is also it is across the discipline. You cannot say that only if you are getting electronic bag, if you will study the engineering, then only you will get into the entrepreneurship or innovation. So this is the myth actually we are trying to break. We are trying to give a very good holistic and inclusive approach to the innovation and entrepreneurship, is that it is a cross-disciplinary and also across the sector. So what is the more important is called the team formation, and the team having the right skill set and the mindset to work on their innovation and making it commercializing it, either in the form of technology transfer or technology licensing or the startup form or enterprising form. So if you will talk about the whole things, out of 51,000 institutions and 4 crores of students are studying in these higher educational institutions, we found only 0.2 to 0.5% of the total institutes have this kind of or have established some ecosystem, and they are promoting innovation and entrepreneurship in their campuses. So when I say it's a 0.5%, that means 50,000, 0.5% is around 250 to 500 institutions. So in 2017 we found only IITs, certain new deemed universities, private deemed universities, or the NITs, and certain a few private colleges, they are actually into this innovation and entrepreneurship domain, and they realize that innovation and entrepreneurship is the next stage of attracting the and retaining the talents. If they will not include it, then they will be not in the market. So we treat these 250 to 300 or 500 institutes, those were into those have started promoting innovation and entrepreneurship in 2017. We consider them as the front leader. We consider them the kind of a leader of the industry, or the leader of this innovation and entrepreneurship in academic industry. So but actually, out of 51,000, only 0.5% of the institutes are actually doing some innovation and entrepreneurship. Then how you can expect that we will make a bigger impact, and the potential we have, and what kind of things we are doing? So at the 0.5% of activeness, we have secured third position in the world. We have secured 81 position in the global innovation index. We secured 84 position in the global entrepreneurship index. Then just imagine the potential we have. So when this 0.5% will reach to the 50%, when this total student base, that is the students studying in this 50 the institutions will understand the concepts of innovation and entrepreneurship, and they will understand the alternative career option this innovation and entrepreneurship is going to give. And if they will start practicing this innovation and entrepreneurship, then you can just imagine that where actually our country is going to stand. And I believe if we will achieve at least 10 to 20, even leave about the 50%, if in next 5 years we will achieve that 10% of our total higher education institutions will streamline their campus ecosystem, and they will ensure that 30% of the students in their respective campuses will get into this innovation and entrepreneurship awareness, next skill development, mindset development, and at least they will do engage in some kind of innovation and entrepreneurship activities, or the programs, or they will devise their innovation startup. Then just imagine the population, a large considerable size of population from our academics will actually tell the whole country, also will tell to the whole world, that the academic entrepreneur, or the students and the faculties in higher education institutions, can change the landscape. They have the all powers and the potential to make a bigger impact than the larger than the expectations we have. So this is actually we are now currently playing under the potential. We are playing with far below than the potential we have. This is the reason why in 2017 Ministry of Education came up with policies and the programs to intervene in our higher academic institutions, targeting both technical and the non-technical institutions, where our students will get awareness, where our faculties will get also understanding about things. They will integrate this innovation and entrepreneurship in the curriculum, also in the teaching process and methodology. The innovations will become in the form of delivering the content. Also, they will pass the skill set to the students, that during academic itself they will understand, they will practice it, they will fail it, and also they will restart their innovation and the startup things, so that once they will graduate from the institute, they will not waste their time in realizing their dream that they want to become entrepreneur. At present, what is happening, that our students are actually they have the creative potential, but because of the social structure, because of the academic structure, and because of the institutional structure we have in our education system, we are getting into a social pressure, and also it is kind of peer pressure from the friend circle, and from the parents, also from the faculty, is that your prime focus is to only to get the credits, getting the high OGPA, getting the high CGPA, so that once you will graduate, once you will complete your course, you have to get a better placement in the companies. We are teaching in that way. We are telling our students to only focus on the study and to get good score, because we treat that good score is the indication of the knowledge. But actually, good score is not actually indication of the knowledge. Good score may be that you are a hardworking person, but it is not the good indicator of the knowledge and enhancement, then what is the good indicator? So for the quality education, it is a well accepted phenomenon that at the international level, innovation and entrepreneurship output, like if you are involving in any innovation activities, if you are developing or designing an innovation, or you are coming up in a startup, or you have entrepreneur skill set, mindset, readiness of the people to get into the business, so these are the now indicators of the quality education. This is the reason why in the recently national education policy, the second the reformative policy we brought into practice in 2020, that Ministry of Education has overemphasized that in starting from the schooling to the higher education, every stage that entrepreneurship innovation should be part of the curriculum, and research and commercialization it should be integrated not only at the higher education level, also in the schooling level also. And recently to implement this NEP, national education policy, Ministry of Education Innovation Cell also started focusing, and we are extending our policy focus from the higher education institutions to the schooling level. So soon we are going to start various programs to impart that entrepreneurship and innovation skill set among the students, among the school going students. Especially we will start with the CBSE run schools, and then later it will be taken to the other modalities, the schools those are offering, like at the state level, state run schools, and also the other boards, to inculcate to integrate this entrepreneurship education. And it has been seen from the countries like Netherlands and also other European countries, even in USA. Students can be prepared. We can align their mindset with at the cognitive level. So at the schooling, from the schooling stage. So the more you will align this thing at the schooling stage, they will accept this as a common practice of seeing the life, and they will engage. There is a high chance of engaging in the innovation and entrepreneurship activities when they will reach to the higher education level, and there is a highly likely that they will start their own business, or they will get into research and development or knowledge creation out of when they will graduate from the institute. The perfect example of this is called Israel. So in the Israel, if you will see, if it is very, very small country, but if you will go and see their education structure and the societal structure and the institutional structures they are actually, since the college, since in the schooling time itself, and also other countries like Netherlands and also Sweden, if you will go and see, they are teaching entrepreneurship and the creative potential and the innovation from the LKG and UKG. They are saying that, see, like physics, chemistry, and basic science, and all the history and the geography, this is also a common curriculum in your subject. They never teach like we are learning now through the lecture and kind of things. They teach the students through a different mode of playing, doing, exercising, correlating with some concepts and theories, and also engaging, giving them short assignments to play the role and to behave. So this is a way they are trying to change their mindset. So the countries, those are focusing the entrepreneurship education and the innovation skill set at the beginning from the schooling. The foundation remains very, very strong, and there is a high chance that the students or the youth will be more entrepreneurial and also innovative. And no doubt, once you're preparing the youth in this line, they will not a burden for the country, they will not a burden for the economy to get the employment. But actually India has to still has to reach to this level. We are just in the very, very formative and nascent stage of policy formulation, where we have to make this change at the schooling level, also at the higher education institution level. For the in the short-term goal, we have started these things in the higher education institution level, but actually we have to now see that how we will start at the schooling level. So in the next 10 to 15 years, you will see the impact that the students, those are in their LKG and UKG now, after down the line of 10 to 15 years, if this effort will continue for at least one generation, then the rest generation will take it on their own, rather than more on the government intervention, or rather than expecting that government to come and intervene and also to provide the support every time. So we have to only make one generation impact, and we have to bring such a policy that which will be self-sustainable and which needs more ownership of our youth and our institutions, our faculties, and setting up the mechanisms and the institutional support systems, so that every institute, every school will play the role of enabler, rather than waiting for the government to come and support, then only they will initiate. So this mindset we have to also stop. And if you will talk about the various the role of faculty in the whole system, actually, as I said, they are the very major stakeholders, because they are not only simply playing the role of the teacher, also they are playing multiple role as a guide, as a mentor, as a supervisor, as an administrator, also as a planner, as a strategizer. So, and then also they influence, they act as a role model for their students. So thus the substantial years students or the youth spend their very formative years of a time with these people. So developing the right mindset, developing the right skill set among these faculties is also very, very important. If faculty will not upgrade themselves, if faculties will not just updated with the market requirements, and also they will not devise their teaching methodology as per the to cater the market need, then I think it is very, very difficult to prepare our students. Because I think in India the ratio is 1:50. One faculty is the allocation ratio is 50 students. So that means one faculty is going to influence 50 students. So just assume that in India, especially for technical institutions, we have more than 7 lakh students, 7 lakh faculties, and these 7 lakh faculties are dealing with more than 1 crore technical students. That means if some proportion of the faculties will develop this entrepreneurial ability and the skill set and the mindset to drive the ecosystem, and they will understand that why this innovation and entrepreneurship should be taught to the students. If they will realize that the process or the teaching methodology they are adopting, it should be renewed, and it should be there should be some innovation in terms of the content delivery. Also there is some it should be delivered in an entrepreneurial way. That is, what is the entrepreneurial way means, what you will deliver it as a maximum impact, and it will influence the others to utilize the knowledge what they've acquired, what they've learned, or what they've acquired. So entrepreneurship always see that effectiveness and the efficientness. So innovation and entrepreneurship always comes with effectiveness and the efficient and the effectiveness of the resources, of the knowledge, of the infrastructure, of the all kind of tangible and the intangible resources and the knowledge they have acquired during the period of this academic study. So now let's discuss what are the different roles generally faculties can play. The first thing is that if you classify if you categorize the faculties, those are working in an educational institution, especially I'm talking about the higher education institutions. So there are a group, but number is quite less, though we call them the higher authorities, like they are the vision setters, they are the leader of that particular institute, they are the chairman, they are the board of studies, these are the members of those are securing the top position like dean, directors, then vice chancellors, register. So these are the people, these are the faculties, those are comes into the top category. That is, we call them, they are the leaders. So this is the one category. Now the next level is called the middle management category, the mid-level category. So those are not into the top position, but they are into the mid-level top position, like dean, or the department head of the department, or the center head, all kind of, there comes from the mid of the things. And the rest, the next category is called execution or the implementation. So these faculties are assistant professor or the associate professors, and also the lecturers. So mostly they are into execution of the plans set by the top leaders, and further and also developed by the mid-level. So mid-level develop the plan, and the top level they refine and they approve the plan, and this get executed by this third category, that is the bottom level faculties in any particular technical institution or any type of higher education institutions. But what the activities they generally plan and what they approve and what they implement, now it is the question of debate. And mostly they are restricting to the activities like teaching, administrative activities, and building the infrastructure and the students performance analysis, and all these activities. Hardly you will see that now innovation and entrepreneurship has been seen as a part of the whole process of planning, approval, and also for the execution. As I said that in 2017 only 300 to 400 or maximum 500 institutions had different things, but still they have not included in the top level strategic development. Most of these activities generally were in ad hoc basis, and if somebody will propose, then higher authority had approved it and they were just executing it, but it was not any very plan. That's why Ministry of Education came up with a policy called National Innovation and Startup Policy in 2019, and prior to that it was named as a AICT Student Startup Policy. So AICT Student Startup Policy came in 2017, and when I joined the AICT, I was the first person who took this challenge of designing this implementation strategy for AICT Student Startup Policy. But when ministry gave us a mandate that your policy should not restrict to the technical institutions, it should goes to the all non-technical institutions also, then I through the lots of talking with the stakeholders, institutions, then identified the so many improvisations on that first edition of the AICT Student Startup Policy. And in 2019 we launched a very inclusive and very kind of a comprehensive policy, the guiding framework for our higher education institutions, which clearly mentioned that the policy or the strategic vision or the strategic changes in the line of innovation and entrepreneurship should be start from the should reflect at the vision statement of the institute. That means every institute should revisit their vision statement, their mission statement, and they should say that they should communicate to the whole country or to their students and the stakeholders that they are very very keen and also much inclination towards promoting innovation and entrepreneurship. And this mission statement, this innovation and entrepreneurship statement, should be integral part of the strategic approach and the planning at the top. But at the top level, that means your vice chancellor, the register, the director, and the all the key positions, those in the top position, they should feel that our institute should promote very aggressively, also support innovation and startup in our campus among the students and faculties. The governance level innovation is first and foremost. Once the top leader says that this is our commitment and the passion, then it gives a clear message to the middle management, also to the lower management or the mid-level category and the lower level category of faculties, that they should think on that line. And generally our mindset actually morely influenced by the top leaders understand how they want to drive, how they see the whole system. This is what the changes actually we want, and through this NISP we are trying to bring that changes at the top level. Now comes to the mid level. Those are actually going to develop the action plan, develop the strategy, and propose to the institute to execute. So this mid level also should have this kind of experiential background. They should have enough experience and the knowledge on innovation and entrepreneurship. If you will see that the generally professors or the dean and director of the center heads from the different academic departments, no doubt they have a very good research and development skill set. They have understanding on the technology development and the intellectual property generation, but they are quite weak in the knowledge on technology transfer. Developing a technology in the lab is okay, and having validation and filing the patent is one step, but so far you are not taking this intellectual properties and technologies to the ground. For what purpose you have developed, there is no meaning of it. So technology development is okay, one step is fine, but you will not gaining the skill set and the mindset, taking this technology developed into the practice or to the people or to the society, then I think there is no meaning of it. It is just a waste of money and the time. So commercialization of these technologies, then licensing these technologies to the industries, and also if any faculty or if any students want to take this technology and they want to develop a startup, and with incubation support from the institute or outside the institute, should be also another third option way of commercializing the technology. So the mid-level management should understand that how this technology transfer, commercialization, licensing, and the startup of of technologies developed the institute, and acquiring the skill set is very very important, and the experienced candidates having on these areas, and also and understanding the students requirement, their requirement is also very very important. So mid level management should get trained, should should update their knowledge and the skill set on regular basis, and they should engage with the students and the other stakeholders to understand their requirement, what are the expectations for these people, and how institute can meet. So based on this mid-level management has to come up and develop this various strategic plans and proposals, guidelines, policies, and then it has to be proposed, it has to be put forward to the top authority for discussion, refinement, and so for approval. And once it is done, then the third category faculty's role comes in for the execution of it. And this execution, generally they are the daily, they manage the whole daily activities, daily affairs, they manage these affairs on daily basis, and they play the role of mentor. They are the coordinators, they are the facilitators. Also they engage in as a faculty entrepreneurs. So the mid-level management, they are the mostly the planners, they are the policy makers, but actually the lower management faculties, they are the actually coordinator and the entrepreneurs. So they play the three types of role. One is they can act as a driving the ecosystem by acting as a coordinator, or they can act as a mentor, or they can act as an entrepreneur. So there are three types of roles this category, this third category of faculties plays in any academic institutions. So for that also there is need a specific skill set, and also there is a need of different kind of mindset. If any faculty want to be an entrepreneur, then they have to like startup founder, also they have to think like as an entrepreneur. They cannot start a business thinking that they want to do a job, and they need a very risk-free life, and also they want to a millionaire and billionaire. It never happens. You cannot become a billionaire or the millionaire just taking without no risk. So you have to take risk, you have to take challenge. So one category, those have high risk, those are highly innovative, also they manage the work and life, and also they are thinking like a student entrepreneur or the other startup founder. They get into this entrepreneur life. But certain category of faculties, they play the role of the mentor, because they feel that they had experienced something, or during the interaction with the students during their period, the job life, they had acquired certain skill set and mindset to help the students and the faculties in converting their ideas to innovation, especially in the prototyping, in the IP management, in the IP creation, or in the early stage planning of their startups. So these people are playing the role of mentor. So they have a mix of both skill and the risk. They are not much risk taker like the faculty entrepreneurs, but they have certain risks, and they have the experience in dealing with the student innovations, and they feel good when they are with the students, especially in mentoring them in their innovation and entrepreneurship. The another category of faculties, those are actually into the only execution. They have no experience in the mentoring. There is no much risk taking ability like as an entrepreneur, but they have the different skill set and mindset, and they have a commitment that they want to execute the plan and or the activities related to innovation and entrepreneurship in the campuses, and through which they identify potential student entrepreneurs, they identify those potential student innovators, and once these people are identified, then these mentors play the role to provide mentoring support. And then maybe certain faculties, they team up with these students, and they form a startup team, and they started executing that innovation, and they form a startup, and or they found a startup with incubation support from the institute. So I had explained now 3 type of faculties. Let me summarize what I said, because maybe many of you have lost. I told so many things. So faculties are the very prime. They play the very prime role in the developing the ecosystem, innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem in the academic institutions. So if you classify the whole faculty into 3 categories, the first is the top level faculty category. Those are the decision makers. Those set the agenda. Those set the vision for the academic institutions to take the innovation and entrepreneurship agenda forward. Whereas the mid-level faculty category, those are in the dean and center head, and those develop the plan, those will develop the strategy, and they propose the top leader to approve and for the refinement and for the implementation. And the third level category, we call them the bottom level faculty category. Those are assistant and up to some extent associate professors, also the faculty student coordinators and the experts. They ensure that what the plan, what the agenda, what the objectives set by your head of the institute, to ensure that it has to be implemented, also generate the impact and outcome from every intervention. And these faculties play at least 3 to 4 types of roles. The first one is called the very high risk taking category. Those are into they himself or herself, they get into the entrepreneurship domain, and they start their own enterprise either on their own, or they get into into a collaboration mode with the students, and start the enterprises. The second category of the second subcategory under this third category is called mentors, faculty mentors. And another faculty category are called, they are only getting into the activity coordination and implementation. The mid-level management, they need the skill set on technology transfer, technology licensing, and also see the potential of how this technology is developed in the institute can be transferred into the market through startup mode also. So these are the kind of a role of faculties. And in a totality, institute need also infrastructure and the resources, and also the mechanisms, like there is institutional mechanisms should be there to make use of all these connected dots or the compartments or the categories what I have mentioned, to put you all into a line of action, and further creating result or generating result out of these actions. So this is what the ecosystem and the expectations from faculties from academic institutions. Now coming down to what is the behavioral actually mindset of these faculties should have. See, there are 3 things actually that helps in every individual to take any action or not. Consider, if I'm an individual, the first thing it comes is your attitude, and second is your called the intention. If your attitude and intention is appropriate, then definitely there is a high chance that you will start something in that line. So all these faculties, as I said, that there is a different categories, and also there is a need a different mindset and the skill set according to the categories they belongs. There is a need of intention development and the attitude development towards innovation and entrepreneurship. And once your attitude and entrepreneurship has developed, and how it will develop through the continuous training, continuous orientation, continuous interaction with the all these people, all these categories. Your higher authority should interact and should pass their vision and their thought process to these both middle level and the bottom level. Also, they have to get feedback, and also they have to provide some incentives to promote innovation and entrepreneurship in the campuses. So all these things we have explained well in our national innovation startup policy, which says that every educational institution should come up with an innovation and entrepreneurship policy for that particular institute, and they have to devise a action plan, and then they have to implement it. And I think most of the IISc institutions, those who have established the IISc Institutions Innovation Council, they are quite familiar with all these processes. Where this IISc, we have asked all our higher education institutions, first you have to set up an Institutions Innovation Council in your campus, which says that the council, under the chairmanship or under the leadership of a very senior professor having the experience in the area of innovation, entrepreneurship, or intellectual property right, or the head of the institute also can take this IISc presidentship role, where they have to identify the persons or interested enthusiastic persons from the different departments, units, also the incubation unit, pre-incubation units from the institute, also outside experts, and both faculties and the students. So you have to bring them into a one platform. It is called Institutions Innovation Council. This platform, these council members, they will interact, they will plan that actually where your institute ecosystem stands now, and actually where actually you need immediate intervention, in which areas you need some planned intervention, and minimum activities related to innovation and entrepreneurs should be organized in your campus on regular interval, so that your students and faculties will get opportunity to participate, to understand, to assimilate the knowledge on related to innovation and entrepreneurship. Also they will get opportunity to engage and practice the innovation and entrepreneurship during this academic period. And this is what IISc is doing. The Institutions Innovation Council is ensuring the streamlining and strengthening the campus ecosystem by conducting the activities around the year, also getting all these peoples and interested enthusiastic peoples from the different departments, and from so we are trying to achieve a inter-department intra-institutional collaboration and partnership, where the interdisciplinary approach and also all the things we can put into one table, so that the team that the students from one discipline also will make a team with the will form the team with the members from the other disciplines, and a better innovation and better startups will come from our academic institutions. So this is the role of faculties, and the intention and the attitude plays in. But in addition to the intention and the attitude, the another thing is very essential, that is the skill set. You may have the intention, you may have the attitude, but you have not that skill set. Then how you will do it, how you will convert that intention into the action? So this is where actually also most of our faculties are missing. So every institute should take actions in this direction. The head of the institute and the top authorities also design some programs, so that our faculties will get oriented. They will acquire the skill set on ideation, they will acquire the skill set on prototyping, they will acquire the skill set on how to design a business plan, and also they need expertise in the skill set on technology transfer, licensing, IP management, all kind of things, so that they will play the role of mentor. Also they may turn into a faculty entrepreneur, and they will able to drive the activities assigned to them very effectively and efficiently. So far we have discussed about the institutional structure, the role of faculty, categorization, the mindset, and the qualities or the characteristics of the faculties to perform the role of mentor and entrepreneur and coordinator. Now comes to the last section of our today's session. Now I will talk about the various programs of Ministry of Education, that how you are doing it, how you are implementing it, how you are trying to achieve this objective through a multifaceted policy approach and actions. So in 2017, we started with the AICTE startup policy, but later in 2019, when Ministry of Education has established this innovation cell, and it has given mandate to us that innovation and entrepreneurship should be promoted not only for technical, also in the non-technical institutions, and now we are taking it to the school level. So we started with three programs. The first program is called Institutions Innovation Council, and as I already have explained, that in Institutions Innovation Council, it is a council. It is not a separate center. It is not a separate unit. So the existing facilities, the existing infrastructure, or the incubation, the pre-incubation facilities there in your campus, now head of the institute or the competent person, the top authorities, they have to identify the key persons and the experts and the enthusiastic individuals from the different departments, and they have to make a council, and that council will take conscious decision and also to plan in such way that the resources within the available resources within the institute will be utilized, and also resources can be mobilized outside the boundary of the institute through the collaboration, through the co-creation, through the cooperation, so by with other agencies and the ecosystem enablers. So this is the what IIC is intending to achieve, and making a vibrant making our institutions to have a vibrant ecosystem. And on top of it, the NISP, the National Innovation Startup Policy that released by and launched by our Ministry of Education, which says that our top authorities first should get sensitized, and they should plan an action plan for a 3 to 4 years, keeping the timeline into mind, and planning that what proportion of the total student and faculty base in your institute they want to generate awareness on this innovation and entrepreneurship, or they want to engage them and also to generate a substantial number of innovations and innovators, entrepreneurs and startups from their campus. So this is the kind of a action plan with timeline, with milestones, with targets, with key performance indicators. Every institute should come up and formulate a innovation and entrepreneurship policy. Then they have to implement. When it comes to the implementation, again, NISP, the innovation and entrepreneurship policy of the institute will be implemented by taking the IIC team, the IIC council members into confidence, and our IIC council members should directly involve in the implementation of all these innovation and entrepreneurship policy actions designed by the institute, head of the institute. And they have to they have to work in a very coordinated fashion to make it happen. So just assume that there is a innovation and entrepreneurship policy at the head of the institute level, and it has formed a action plan, and IIC, the Institutions Innovation Council, is adopting and also implementing these action plans designed by the institute. So by doing so, it is conducting so many activities, so many programs, so many events, and the result of these programs, events, and the activities, it generates certain values of the trained entrepreneurs, trained faculties, mentors, and also innovations, startups, ideas. Now these numbers will act as a measuring point of your ecosystem, and now these numbers will feed into the Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievement. In short, we call it ARIA. This is the national level innovation ranking for educational institutions to measure that how these institution level ecosystems are existing and how institutions are performing to drive this to take this innovation and entrepreneurship agenda forward. So the inputs, the output of these activities will act as an input for the Atal ranking framework, and every institute has to participate in the Atal ranking process. And this Atal ranking will give you that your ecosystem is comprising of minimum 7 or 8 parameters, which is objectively measured by using certain indicators, that how many activities your institute is organized to promote innovation and entrepreneurship during a particular academic year or the financial year. Then also this Atal ranking measures the ecosystem, that how many innovations, successful innovations with different technology readiness level that you have generated and you have developed during the particular financial year. How many startups, both faculty and the student or alumni startups, established with help of your institute or the incubation support of your institute, then how many number of IPs, intellectual properties, that includes design, patents, copyrights, and also other intellectual properties that that has been generated and also commercialized during any particular financial period. This auto ranking also measures about the awards, achievements, mentors, trained mentors, trained faculties, what kind of new teaching and learning programs in the area of innovation and entrepreneurship. So all the things are now the part of the this ranking framework, and this is the first of its kind in the world where we are measuring ecosystem like a country like India, where it was in very nascent stage. If you will see the ranking frameworks of the Global Innovation Index or other kind of things, these are kind of very mature, very mature and standardized rankings, and largely fit for the advanced countries. And the innovation ranking methodology for the nascent level ecosystem is there is nothing, no such exist, and that's why our ministry came up with a very good ranking framework, and with measurable indicators and the weightages for both technical and non-technical institutions, and also focusing on these higher education institutions. And similarly, now we are looking for developing this kind of innovation ranking for our schooling system. So through this innovation ranking process, we will benchmark our practice. We will give a platform to our institutions to demonstrate their achievements and to showcase their achievements, and also will get recognized and rewarded for that achievement. So these are some programs we have at the Ministry of Education Innovation Cell. Also, there are some other programs like Smart India Hackathon we are conducting, where we started this Smart India Hackathon in 2017, whereas in the due course of time it evolved, and now it is termed as the world's biggest open innovation model, where students from our academic institutions, they come and they solve the problems of the government and also from the industry. And recently we have extended this problem solving things to the international forum and the internal market, where our students are collaborating with the international students, and we are finding the solution for the international problems. So this is kind of upgradation of our thought process, mindset, and the vision, starting from the technical institutions with only problems of the government to solve, then industry and crossing the boundary of the country to the other countries. That happened recently. We have also started the drug discovery hackathon, where our students are acquiring the skill set of the necessary skill set to engage themselves in drug discovery, which is very important in case of for the country like India, where if pandemics comes, then actually it gives a big loss to our country. And we should have our own competency and the skill set and the infrastructure ready to fight and to come up with a solution for any kind of pandemics or the disease outbreaks that comes to our country, because we are a very heavily populated country with lots of with some our infrastructure in the health, and these things is not that much of robust, which has been proven in the last second wave of our second wave of the COVID-19 out. So we have to prepare ourselves, and this is the small initiatives. And besides that, we have other programs like MBA in Innovation Entrepreneurship program, where institutes with incubation unit, they are applying for to AICT to start a new course called MBA in Innovation Entrepreneurship and Venture Development, where the students enter with the idea level. In the 2 years of time period, they access to the incubation, the pre-incubation infrastructure, and they develop their idea to a innovation, then to a business model, then to a startup. And before they get out from the program, they always get out with a functional startup with a MBA degree. So this is the first of its kind also in our country. We have started it, and this kind of programs exist in the USA with Harvard and the Oxford, and also with the Babson. But actually this program is a scalable one, and also customized as taking the Indian market, Indian requirement, Indian education system into consideration. There are so many other programs, but I think I should stop here, because that next 10 to 15 minutes will be question and answer session. with this, I will convey my thank you to all the participants of the faculty development program, and your role, your understanding, your expertise actually is going to help immensely if you will develop that intent and the mindset and the attitude and finally it will with the skill set to promote and to support innovation and entrepreneurship in the campus. And as you are the influencing, you are coming across with the student on every day, so just to take that in the next 1 year time, if you will influence at least 50 students towards to adopt this path of innovation and entrepreneurship, then I think that will be biggest achievement, not only for yourself, also for your institute and for the country as a whole. So thank you, and over to Dr. Vaisali.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. I think there are a few questions coming. There is one question from Bhavna, sir. How to apply for AICT program?
So there are so many programs are there. You have to very specify which program you are asking about, because if you will go to the AICT webpage, you will find, I think, more than at any time we have more than 50 to 60 programs. So here I'm talking about the only innovation and entrepreneurship programs. And if you know you are the part of IIC, I think you are aware about the recent schemes from the government, our programs, and you can approach to your IIC president or IIC convener, and they will explain you about what the programs and how you will be able to participate. We have the programs for innovation ambassador, we have the programs for the impact lecture, we have the program for mentor and mentee, also we have the program for Yukti 2.0. Recently we have started the Copilab program to support intellectual property and provide incentives to the institutions. Similarly, hackathons are going on. So there are so many programs at Ministry of Education Innovation Cell, but there are other programs also. Those are not entrepreneurship and innovation focused, but there are other academic enhancement programs with the AICT. So we have to go through the web page of AICT and MIC, and you have to see that what's the process, because in every program we provide the detailed guideline how to apply.
So there is another question from Shobha Wagmode. What is the difference between IIC and NISP?
See, IIC is a council. IIC is a council, and there are so many councils at present. More than 2,500 councils are networked. So we say that it is IIC network. So, but every institute set up an IIC, and IIC is a council. It is not another department. It's not another center. It is not another unit. That council having representation from the members of faculties, experts, and also students. Those are enthusiastic. Those are passionate, and those are willing to contribute to the innovation, to drive the campus innovation and startup ecosystem. And so they come together. The council has been formalized under the chairmanship of the IIC president, nominated by the head of the institute, and they discuss, they decide the course of action, they conduct certain activities around the year, and they provide opportunities and platforms. Also, they mobilize the resources from the different resources to make sure that round the year activities should be organized. Our student and faculty should get skill set, understanding, and the platform to showcase their knowledge, to showcase their innovation and startups, and they will be rewarded and incentivized on a regular interval, so that there will be motivation, there will be inspiration, and also the wealth or the kind of a recognition of the institute will be achieved. So this is what IIC. But NISP is another program. It's a policy guiding framework for the institutions, that your top level authority of your institute should understand, should take the innovation and entrepreneurship as a serious agenda, and in their mission statement, and they should devise a 3 to 4 years action plan, taking IIC activities into consideration, also taking institute's strength into consideration, and set an annual target and set a target for next 3 to 4 years, that how you are going to change the landscape of your institute in terms of maximum number of students and faculties will receive the awareness, will get into the practice of innovation. Also, finally, in every year end, you will able to produce good number of innovations and innovators, good number of student startups, or good number of startups, and good number of founders or the entrepreneurs in every year end. So this is the what, and you have to say that So all the things you have to measure in a very methodological way, so that you will achieve your goal in next 3 to 4 years. So this is the what NISP is a program. We are asking each and every institute to devise their own innovation and entrepreneurship policy. We provide handholding and training support to the NISP coordinators to do the same. But finally, they have to be this once action plan is developed, it has to be implemented through the IAC only.
So there is one more question from Amar Damle. What would happen to the incubation centers? Are they under the innovation cell?
See, incubation center is a center, it is a unit, it's a department, you can say, or it is a separate entity. So in some cases they set up as a just outfit of the academic unit, or they just develop as a separate department. In some cases they set up as a separate entity, like a section 25 company or is a society registered body. So depend upon that, actually, if you are applying for any incubation grant, like if you are applying because the Niti Aayog, Atal Innovation Mission of Niti Aayog, the DST, DBT, Ministry of Electronic and Telecommunication, similarly other ministries at the central level. Also there are state government schemes are there. Also many now private sectors also, they came up with certain scheme. So if you are applying for any under any such scheme to develop an incubation unit, then you have to follow the guidelines prescribed by them, that what should be your incubation unit should be or look like. So if you are not applying for anything, still you can start your own incubation unit by taking this head of the institute. They can plan, and you can define your own, that you want to set up a separate unit, and you can mobilize the resources, or you can deploy your own resources initially to start with. And once you will start, you will reach to certain level. After that, you can approach to the different government schemes to get the funding support, right? But always, if you will wait for the government to provide the funding support, then only you will start. Maybe it will take long time to establish. But the institutions, those are resourceful, those have some kind of their own reserve, they can allocate certain things, and they can start the incubation unit on their own, because this incubation unit is to provide supports to the students and the faculties, those have developed the innovation and they want to take into a commercialization, especially in the technology transfer, technology licensing, and also technology, the startup, technology based startups. Incubation units play the role. But the pre-incubation units are the different set of the things. These are not these are the units specially focusing on developing the idea level to the business model level, so that they will be eligible to get into the incubation units for further support. And the IIC, what we are saying, IIC again is not incubation of the pre-incubation. IIC is enabling the formation of the incubation, the pre-incubation. We are not the IIC itself is not in pre-incubation and incubation. So innovation cell, if your question is the innovation cell is Ministry of Education innovation cell, then definitely we are not providing any funding support. But through IIC, through NISP, we are saying that your institute should plan and mobilize the resources to design this kind of incubation centers, and you have to explore the opportunities and the resources and the funds available with the other ministries or the government. Even you can deploy your own resources to start this kind of units in your institute. Already I have explained this one. I think this one also I have explained. Your institute can start your own incubation unit.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir, for answering all the questions. Thank you, Deepan Sahu, sir, for motivating all our participants and updating on India's ranking in Global Innovation Index and Global Entrepreneurship Index. Ministry of Education, AICT, I would say, is really doing a wonderful job for uplifting all institutions and promoting the entrepreneurship culture in colleges. The proper blend of innovative thinking and entrepreneurship skill is really very important to walk on the path of any business. MOE, that is Ministry of Education, is inculcating and even defining the importance of efficiency and effectiveness required in the faculty members. Then the implementation of startup policy in technical and non-technical institutions, and also the future plans for establishing the entrepreneurial culture in the schools. Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge as well as the importance of technology transfer and skill set which is required for the entrepreneurship, then even telling us and explaining about what is the importance of commercialization of the technology and risk which are involved in it, how they are important, and what is the importance in starting any startup or any business. Then also thank you so much for updating on all the different programs which are conducted by Ministry of Education, AICT. Thank you finally so much, sir, for guiding all us, all our faculty, our participants, and spending your valuable time for this valedictory function. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Now
sir.
moving
Thank you.
Moving towards the vote of thanks, let me brief out our program once again. This faculty development program was organized by KGRDCB and RI with a vision to create an awareness of the need and importance of entrepreneurship and startup through innovations and research in the minds of faculty members. And I hope this online AICT sponsored faculty development program will surely impact all the teachers. As it is said, passion, patience, and persistence are the ingredients to be an entrepreneur. I hope you all are benefited with this faculty development program and guidance which is obtained from all our eminent speakers and will help you to establish the innovative culture in your institution and inculcate the knowledge in your students. With this, I feel honored to get opportunity to propose a vote of thanks to today's program on behalf of Konkan Gyanpit Rahul Dharkar College of Pharmacy. I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all the speakers for sharing their valuable knowledge with us. Next, I convey my regards and hearty thanks to all the teaching staff, technical staff, organizers who have put their persistent efforts to make this faculty development program successful. I would also like to thank our principal sir, Dr. Mohan Kare, and management for continuous guidance and motivation throughout the session. And yes, a big thank you to all the participants that are our faculty members for patiently attending this session. With this, hereby I conclude this faculty development program. Thank you once again for your cooperation and patient listening. Stay safe and stay digital. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.